Hey there YouTube, thanks for coming to another video here on Variety and Errors, your source for currency news. And in this video we're going to talk about some very valuable change that could be hiding right in your pocket. So what am I speaking of? We are talking about old and rare Washington quarters. Now we're not talking about ones that are like drape bust quarters and stuff like that. We are talking about Washington quarters, stuff that you can find in circulation, some a little easier than others. So luck might have to be on your side on a couple of these, but they are all able to be found. So what began as a temporary commemorative quarter honoring the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth became the epicenter of the permanent coin series. John Flanagan's design for George Washington's quarter is by far one of the most popular things you'll see in pretty much any coin collection today, and it's easily one of the most popular amongst those collections. I know I have a lot of different quarters that I have collected over the years. Not all of them are Washington, some are others. But of course, Washington quarters are very, very popular. All silver George Washington quarters, and will be the first thing to touch on in this list. So silver George Washington quarters from 1932 through 1964 all have a minimal value of about $3.50 or $4 and up. This is just for the silver content that you would find in that coin. So post 1964, the content of coins changed and there was no longer any silver value to be had from them, but keep your eye out for those 32 to 64 coins. There are also several other silver George Washington quarters that you may find with a little bit of luck in your pocket change, and those are the following. So the first one we're going to talk about is the 1950 S over D Washington quarter. These fetch a value of $32 and up. A little bit more difficult to come across is also the 1950 year. However, it's the D over S and is right about the same price as that previous S over D, but it's $30 and up. Another quarter to look for would be the 1943 S Double Die Obverse. If you're wondering what a double die is, check out our video that talks all about double dies, as well as go to VarietyErrors.com and simply search in the top, double die. 1943 S Double Die Obverse Washington quarters can fetch you around $30 to $40. Next on the list is the 1937 Double Die Obverse. So a similar era to this coin, although a different year. 1937 Double Die Obverse Washington quarters fetch a really nice amount at $75 or more. Next on the list is the 1934 Double Die Obverse, which is around the same price range, but you're talking about $80 and more. I've seen them go for anywhere around $100. So they're a really nice coin to have. Of course, it depends on the condition for all of these, but definitely something to look for. And the last two, as far as silvers, are going to be the 1932 S and the 1932 D. The 1932 S Washington quarter can fetch anywhere from around $125 to $175. The 1932 D fetches slightly less at around $100, but I've seen them go for $150 in decent condition. So all 7 of these coins, including any from the year spans of 1932 through 1964, are really good coins to look for. So definitely keep an eye out for them. Other good Washington quarters to look for are going to be old and rare copper nickel Washington quarters. So these are going to be the ones post 1964, and these are the most valuable copper nickel quarters that you can look for, and they're going to be the following 5. That's going to be the 2004 D Wisconsin quarter, which has an extra leaf row. These are worth $150, give or take a little bit, depending on condition. Other ones to look for, only worth a few bucks, and that's going to be the 1983 P and 1983 D, which are worth between $3 and $7. The 1982 D is worth around $2, and the 1982 P can be worth $3 or $4 and up. You'll notice I didn't mention anything about the bicentennial quarters, most of the 50-state quarters, or any of the America the Beautiful quarters. That's because while they're definitely fun to collect as far as sets are concerned, these copper nickel versions that usually pop up in pocket change are worth face value, unfortunately. I have seen a couple go for a couple bucks to the right people. Of course, you can probably get a few bucks if it's going to somebody trying to round out a set. In addition to the stuff that I've mentioned above, there's lots of other resources to find very valuable quarters. For you avid collectors out there, I'm sure there's dozens that could be added to this list, but these are ones that I've seen come up in people's pocket change quite readily. And so, some with a little bit of luck, but things you can find in circulation. The funny thing about a lot of videos here on YouTube is it's all these like $1 million quarters. Yeah, you could be really lucky, but when we're talking about something that only has 5 known specimens, it's kind of hard to say, oh yeah, you're going to buy a cup of coffee and that's going to be hiding in that change. Whereas this list here is really applicable to even the newer collector as well as the veteran collector. Stuff you can find right in your daily pocket change.